How's it going, everybody? It's May 1st, 2010. Marcus here from Good E-Reader. Now, it's been a while since we've done a YouTube-styled podcast. Due to the limiting factor of 10 minutes, we've basically been posting a lot of our more extensive audio podcasts on our blog at goodereader.com/blog or on our forum, goodereader.com/forum. Free to sign up on both of those places, so there's a lot of great content there. Now check it out. Now, we briefly want to get into some of the best news that's been happening in the last few weeks, and there's been a lot of it. For one, the Microsoft Courier, an often highly touted, very anticipated device, is now axed. The official word and confirmation came in just yesterday. Basically, the official announcement read like this by Frank Snow. He said, at any given time, we're looking at new ideas, investigating, testing, incubating them. It's in our DNA to develop new form factors and natural users interface to foster productivity and creativity. The Courier project is an example of such an effort. It may be evaluated and used in future offerings, but we have no plan to build the device at this time. And pretty well a day before that, Steve Ballmer, the current Microsoft boss, basically walked into the Courier development team and said, scrap the project, it's dead for now. So, sad news in the Microsoft Courier world. And it was running Windows 7, and in more bad Windows 7 news, the HP Slate, which was to operate on the Windows 7 operating system, it has abandoned that. It has abandoned it for a few reasons. One, it's too demanding on the 1 gig of RAM that they have, and it's a too demanding processor that they have inside of it. It basically only gave them 6 hours of battery life to Apple iPad's 12 battery life plus. So rumor has it, and we kind of rumored and broke this story about 5 days ago when HP first acquired Palm. We speculated that HP might ditch Windows 7 and go with the Palm Web OS as a way to do it. Now, it looks like we're right. There's a lot of rumor mills out of HP right now telling us that they're ditching Windows 7 completely and that they're going with the Palm Web OS that they just bought. Since they paid $1.2 billion for the company in the hopes of revitalizing HP's struggling phone division, but they're also going to use this application and operating system for the core operating system of the HP Slate, which is good because HP has said all along that they want to differentiate themselves from the competition. Virtually all of the other slates except Apple are running Google Android as their operating systems, and so now we get involved in two highly touted devices running Microsoft Windows 7, and most people are saying baseline that Windows 7 is not good for a mobile Slate system. It's great for PCs, laptops, and netbooks, but for Slate developers, they're basically all abandoning it. So if you want a Slate in Windows 7, you are going to be out of luck. There's really no major Slate doing it. So in closing about the HP deal, Palm Web OS comes with about 2,000 applications from the Palm developer community. So they definitely do have applications in place, a developer community in place. HP has said that they're going to throw $200 to $300 million a year at Palm's research and development. And so the HP Slate may be canceled now, but it's not done for good. I firmly see them revitalizing the CPU, going with one that's coming out in 2011. It's a 32nm based Atom chips, so that's what they're going to be using. So big news, Microsoft Courier canceled, the HP Slate is delayed, so there's not a lot of good news coming out of the industry right now. There is some good news though for Amazon people. If you have a Kindle 2, a Kindle DX, there's new firmware coming out. It's the firmware 2.5. It's going to be coming out May 17th. Amazon will be releasing new software features that will allow you to actually form proper collections within your e-reader. It'll help make helping organize them a lot faster. and it's more of an effective way of managing content. There's also a password feature for your Kindle now, so you can actually lock out people from actually reading your device. They're actually offering 2 larger font sizes, sharper fonts, the ability to zoom and pan around PDF documents, and the big news is integrating Twitter and Facebook that will allow users to share ebooks via these popular networking sites. So you won't be able to share the whole book, but given the fact that Twitter is limited to 140 characters, Facebook status updates pretty well the same. You can pretty well Twitter about 140 characters or a few sentences. So if you're reading a book and you read a prolific philosophical statement, boom, send it to all your Twitter followers. Everybody has it. It's good to go. Also, in Amazon news in July, they're coming out with a new Kindle web browsing system that's going to replace the old one. If you guys aren't aware, Amazon released an SDK a few months ago, and we're hiring people internally and on job board posting sites that they wanted people to work on internal applications within Kindle, and they do actually allow outside developers to work on applications. So, Kindle users, you're definitely rejoicing that you're coming out with some good new features very soon. Speaking of Amazon and Kindle, Amazon posted reports of stock increases. They saw about 68% stock increase in this time last year, but Barnes & Noble actually sold more e-readers. In the first quarter of this year, 1.4 million e-readers were sold, and 53% of them were Nooks. Now, this is great for Barnes & Noble that is not only riding the current Nook in Best Buy, and similarly, Amazon is now selling their Kindles in Target. Although they're just selling the Kindle 2, you won't see the DX in Target. But Barnes & Noble has a flurry of announcements lately. They're winning the e-reader race this year. They've released new firmware update that gives Barnes & Noble Nooks the ability to have a web browser. They've put out games. They're saying with every firmware update, they're going to put new games and new applications in there. So Amazon is making a lot of money with its Zappos Shoes franchise. It's making a lot of money through people selling books through their site and skimming off fees. So they're posting strong quarterly fit digits, but as far as e-readers go, Barnes & Noble is selling a lot more of them now, and they're going to be selling a lot more mainly because Barnes & Noble has released that they're working on 2 new e-readers, the Nook 2 and the Nook Lite. Now, the Nook 2 is under a code name right now. It's called Project Encore. There's not a whole lot of details regarding it. What we have heard is that it's full color e-reader. It's going to be coming around December of this year. It's going to have 3G Wi-Fi. It's going to have a better enhanced web browser. It'll have more inherent features. We heard even rumors that it'll have a 9-inch screen instead of a 6-inch screen. We also heard that it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of about $599, while the Nook Lite will only be $109.99, so basically $200. The Nook Lite doesn't differentiate very much from the original Nook. The only absence is the 3G, so you'll have to be Wi-Fi only. You won't actually have the options for 3G. So the Nook Lite will be the entry model. The existing Barnes & Noble Nook will be the mid-level item, and the Project Encore or the Nook 2 will be the high tier item. Both of these items will be out towards the end of the year, and you can definitely see probably Barnes & Noble with their big promotional campaign right now. They're making commercials, they're doing print and online media ads. Barnes & Noble is really blitzkrieging the industry right now to get e-readers more visible both in TV, traditional media, and in hopes that they can sell a lot more. Now that they have a great deal with Best Buy, and you can actually go to a Barnes & Noble store and buy them there, this is definitely positive moves in the industry. So this is a very short edition of the Good E-Reader Radio Show. If you'd like to hear longer editions, please check out our blog at goodereader.com/blog. And we play songs, we answer emails, we talk more about what we've just mentioned today. We go into details on what are the CEOs saying, what are higher people at the positions that the companies are saying. So if you want to know all the scoops, keep listening to our YouTube channels for sporadic updates, but our blog and forum are updated daily. For Good E-Reader, this is Marcus, and everybody take care.